Oh, hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be talking about all of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' keys to victory for their Week 12 matchup versus the Kansas City Chiefs. This is essentially some of the things that the Buccaneers can do to give themselves a better chance of winning in Week 12 versus the Chiefs. So, let's not waste any time. Let's get started talking about some of these points. The first point I want to make here is going to be attacking the Chiefs cornerbacks. Now, if there is one flaw to this Kansas City Chiefs team, and trust me, there aren't a lot of flaws with this team, it would be that their cornerback room is overall their weakest unit. I think that that is a pretty safe thing to say, that out of every single unit on this Kansas City Chiefs football team, from defense to offense, the cornerbacks are definitely the unit with the least amount of star power. As I said in a previous video, Brashad Breeland and Shavarius Ward, I believe, are your two starting cornerbacks, and the Buccaneers got to attack those guys at all costs, because that's really one of their better chances of getting the offense going, using Antonio Brown, using Chris Godwin, and using Mike Evans to attack this weaker cornerback room and taking advantage of those guys at that cornerback position. That is going to be one of the best ways for this offense to get rolling, I think, not just for the passing game, but just for the entire offense as a whole. I'm a big supporter of Ronald Jones, and I do think that having a balanced attack of the running game is very important as well. He does have a pretty decently favorable matchup, in my opinion, but the best matchup for the Buccaneers offense in this game is, very much so the Buccaneers wide receivers versus the Kansas City Chiefs cornerback. So that is a matchup that the Buccaneers have got to exploit at every point possible. I want to see Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin moving around. I want to see Scotty Miller rotating more into the game. I know he has been dealing with some injuries, but I need to see a lot of rotating guys out there, keeping these cornerbacks uncomfortable guarding certain wide receivers. Just keep on swapping guys, keep on rotating guys, keep it loose, and keep it very unpredictable. That's how I think that you are going to, be able to best attack this Kansas City Chiefs defense, is by using all of your wide receivers to the best of their abilities and also rotating them around a lot and, in a lot of cases trying to confuse the opposing cornerback room. So that is the first point I want to make. The second point that I want to make is going to be attacking Patrick Mahomes. Now, I talked about this in a previous video. Even if you put pressure on Patrick Mahomes, it is not going to work. Probably, I want to say 25% of the time. But at the end of the day, he is human. He is a quarterback, and one of the best tricks and oldest tricks in the book is that if you apply pressure to a quarterback, chances are they have a more likely chance to make a mistake. Did that sound right? I think it did. The point is that putting pressure on a quarterback can force them to make mistakes. Regardless of who the quarterback is, Patrick Mahomes is also no exception to that rule. So I think that getting that pass rush going, even if you have to blitz, just send them. Do whatever you've got to do to make Patrick Mahomes uncomfortable, because that is going to give you one of your better chances on the defensive side of the football. And even whenever Patrick Mahomes is uncomfortable in the pocket, he can just run out of the pocket, make an insane throw behind his back or something. I don't know, throw with his feet. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is absolutely insane, but still, sending the pressure, sending the blitz is going to be very key. I want to see the Buccaneers succeed without having to blitz, but at this point, it seems like blitzing has become not just a want by Todd Bowles, but also a necessity for Todd Bowles as well, because, 3-4-man rushes, they're not getting home as often as you would like them to. The pressures are nice, but the sack numbers are not there. So we are probably going to be seeing a lot more blitzing, I guess more consistency with the blitzing yet again with this Buccaneers defense versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The next point that I'm going to make is play clean football, and I've said it before and I will say it again every single time the Buccaneers play a good team. You cannot beat rather a good team if you are not playing clean football. I'm talking about penalties. Those need to be cleaned up. The Buccaneers have been doing a very good job of having an overall clean slate of games in terms of penalties, but the ones they have been having are very frustrating because they are drive killers, or they are extending the drives of the opposing offenses. So we can't have that against a team like the Kansas City Chiefs, because they're probably 9 times out of 10 going to turn those opportunities into some type of points. So you need to play clean football in regards to the penalties. I also need to see more clean football in terms of communication, chemistry, and discipline. That is going to be huge for both the defense and the offense, especially that secondary. They have got to be playing on all levels. They've got to be playing on their A game. They have got to be communicating to the best of their abilities, because Patrick Mahomes can do some pretty insane stuff. We all know this. And we have seen this defense be capable of being the top, 2 or number 1 defense in the entire NFL. They were pretty much one of the best, if not the best defense for the first 7 weeks out of the year. Maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers would have had them beat, but they were, I was going to say, at least a top 3 defense for the first, 2 months out of the year. So if they can replicate that, they have a lot better chance of winning this game versus the Kansas City Chiefs. So they need to be on their A game. Offensive line needs to be on their A game as well, considering they will probably be missing Ali Marpet, and then more probably than not be missing Donovan Smith. They have to have better communication as well. Whoever fills in at left tackle and left guard, it's presumably Josh Wells and Aaron Stinney. They have got to do their best in terms of communicating and doing all those different types of things now that they are the starters. Aaron Stinney, I am interested to see play here at left guard. Josh Wells, not so much. So we'll see what happens in regards to both those sides of the football in terms of chemistry, communication, and overall clean football play. The second to last point I'm going to make here is win the shootout, because quite frankly, it's probably going to be a shootout. I imagine that both these teams will probably get around 30 points. I don't think that is a very far-fetched thing to say, especially if the Buccaneers offense can get back on track and rebound from the rough past couple of weeks that they have been having. I have no doubt in my mind that both these offenses could hit 30 points. It's just a matter of the Buccaneers, getting a couple of plays more going their way to win that shootout. That's really what I think it could come down to at the end of the day. We will just have to wait and see, but yeah, that's the next thing there, is just winning the shootout. It really is probably going to be unavoidable at this point, given just the greatness of this Kansas City Chiefs offense and just the team as a whole. So the Buccaneers need to, have a couple more plays in their favor, play a little bit of a cleaner football game, and just be a little bit more efficient. That's what I think this might come down to. But the last point I want to make here is, for anybody religious, just pray. I mean, this is the toughest game the Buccaneers are going to play the entire year. I mean, honestly, probably playoffs or otherwise, unless they play the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl, this is the best team in the NFL. And I know people have been critical of me in weeks past that I am too, I'm too praiseworthy to opposing teams. And I will say that I like giving you guys a fair, unbiased opinion of what the other team has at their disposal in terms of offense and defense and things like that. But I think even a lot of you guys can admit that the Kansas City Chiefs are the best team in football. That is not a crazy thing to say. They have the best offense in football. Their defense, I think, is at least above average, and they're the defending Super Bowl champions. So, what do you want me to say? I'm not going to sit there and put down a team like the Kansas City Chiefs. We all know this. They are 8-1. I think they've won, 18 out of their last 19 games or something crazy. Yeah, they're a good team. I don't think that is an insane thing to admit here. So, let's just hope for the best here. This is going to be a very, very tough game. Not just the toughest game the Buccaneers have already played up to this point during the season, and that's including both games versus the Saints. This is going to be the hardest game they will play unless they make the Super Bowl and play the Kansas City Chiefs again. I mean, this Kansas City Chiefs team is better, in my opinion, than any team in the NFC. Seattle, Chiefs are better. Saints, Chiefs are better. Even if they had Drew Brees, Chiefs are still better. Green Bay Packers, the Rams, the Buccaneers. I mean, on paper, this Chiefs team is better. The Buccaneers, can go out there and I think win this game. I think that is entirely possible, but it's going to be a hard game. I mean, that's just what it is at the end of the day. And I've seen a lot of other Buccaneers content creators admit this, and that's not a bad thing to admit. So, you got to call it how you see it. And the way I see it, this Chiefs team is just crazy. So we'll see what happens here. I do still think the Buccaneers can win this game. I want to reiterate that point. I think it is entirely possible for them to win this game. They just have to do a lot of what I said here in this video. Attacking the weakish secondary that the Chiefs have, taking advantage of, the wide receivers that they have at their disposal, attacking Patrick Mahomes, just trying to stop that, otherworldly human being, and playing the cleanest game of football football that they can. And even then, it's going to be a shootout, so you're just going to have a few more plays better than this Kansas City Chiefs team. But guys, that is going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts about all of what I mentioned down in the comments section below. What are some other things that you feel the Tampa Bay Buccaneers could do to give themselves a better chance of defeating the Kansas City Chiefs? But anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. I will see you in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.